Because why would you have Oklahoma number 2?
What?
Like,
ask them. Maybe
what have they done?
they'll comment.
Okay.
Where did Oklahoma end at last year?
If you want the bosses, you gotta sacrifice. You wanna move like bosses move.
YMA, Young Millionaires Association.
All right, welcome to the YMA Nation podcast, episode number 67.
67, guys.
67. I am Joe Wallace, and this is
Rebecca Wallace.
And today is Sports Talk Friday.
Sports Talk Friday.
Sports Talk Friday. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready. I got all.
I don't think he's ready, y'all.
I got all like the meat, like what people want to hear.
Okay.
And then we'll let you start off, and you're going to talk about like the drafts and all of that stuff. Which I know people want to hear that too, but you know, I get into like the meat.
What is the meat? I mean, the draft is in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, but like the
I think that's meat.
Like conspiracy theories and all that type of things.
Okay. Ooh, now see what kind of Friday this is gonna be.
Let's go. Hey, let's go. Hashtag let's go. If you're on right now, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
Let's give them just a couple seconds because it only takes like 3.
Yeah.
Right.
Like if
they should have done it right now.
Subscribe. Everyone, if you're on right now and you are watching, go ahead and click subscribe. And then that's a little thumbs up. If you don't know, click the little thumbs up too. And down in the comment section, hashtag YMA Nation.
Or any other comments or commentary or feedback or anything.
Leave your feedback. Yeah, we love the feedback down in the comment section.
Hashtag
YMA Nation and hashtag Let's Go. And if you don't know about Let's Go, after you watch this show on YouTube, you could type in Joe Wallace, Let's Go.
Let's go.
And then leave your feedback. Everybody leaving feedback. It's buzzing right now. So y'all got to go check out Let's Go.
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
I'm going to give him a hand clap.
I get a hand clap.
That's right.
Joe Wallace, Al Harris featuring CEEJ. Let's go. Make sure you download that song too. Man, it's doing numbers right now. It's like over 7,000.
Look, congratulations, you guys.
I don't get like the big applause. Can I get the big applause? There we go.
I gave it to you. Then I was giving you
and then I get your personal applause. Yeah. All right, so let's go.
Okay. What's up first?
So first, I'm going to talk because, you know, the meat.
The meat.
So let's go into the meat about Deshaun Watkins. And, you know, we've talked Watson.
Yeah.
We've talked about his, you know, everything that's been going on over the last. Man,
I didn't even have that in my notes.
But I do. So the last 2 episodes, we've talked about it.
We did.
So I'm going to cover it. So 20 women who have filed the lawsuit alleging that he had inappropriate behavior or sexual assault.
Right.
They have amended their petition to disclose their names.
They had to.
Well, this just came out on Wednesday. So you're talking about like almost 2 months, I think it's been since this like first occurred. Now they just had to make an amendment to disclose their names. And that's because 2 judges forced them to do it.
Yep.
And I would think that would be weird, right? Like you got all these people just accusing someone of something, and then like everybody just sitting back in the shadows, like who are the people accusing him? You don't even know, right? You just know it's women.
But they haven't been filed yet. They haven't been refiled.
Refiled.
So they were originally filed under Jane Doe.
Okay.
Only 2 of the women have released their names and have refiled with their name, not under Jane Doe. The attorney is just saying that 20 out of the 22 women are going to refile.
Disclose their names.
Right.
Well, they've disclosed their names, but they're going to refile.
Of course, the attorney has said things
multiple times.
But
what's interesting is now that has been forced, one of the women have withdrawn her
claim.
Her claim, yes. Well, her suit.
Yeah, her suit.
She has withdrawn her suit. So that's interesting. And the reason that they said that was the attorney for the plaintiff, the reason he said that they didn't put out the names at first is because of possible
The defense.
safety for the plaintiff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the safety of the plaintiffs. Which is weird, right? Like what will happen to them?
I mean,
I understand you got people that like love Deshaun and doing something to
threats.
Yeah, like a threat to a woman who was making an allegation that she has been assaulted. Like, I think that would be kind of harsh. I mean, right now is allegations, right? So until like the facts are shown, like if the facts comes out and like, oh, you know what? She was telling the truth, but she was lying. Well, shame on the one who was lying, right? Then, okay, if you know, attack her. Because shame on you for lying, right? Right. I mean, that's my perspective on it.
Right.
Or just like, oh, well, everybody else doing this, so I'm going to hop on this bandwagon. But if all of them are telling the truth, then shame on him. Mm-hmm. You know, shame on him. Shame on him.
Right.
But until the facts are disclosed, then.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'm agreeing with you.
You just like
I'm remaining unbiased.
Unbiased, I agree.
I'm remaining unbiased.
That's why I'm just saying my perspective on both sides, right?
Right.
If the women are telling the truth, then shame on him.
Right. Then he should face consequences and repercussions.
Consequences and repercussions.
I mean,
like Samuel Jackson said.
I'm totally with that. I don't disagree at all. I think that, in my opinion, it's just the way that everything happened. Like the sequence of events.
The timing of it.
Right. Is just not in their favor. I'm not saying that they're lying. I'm just saying that the timing of the events, it doesn't look good for them.
Right, because he wanted to transfer and then boom. It's like if I'll say, I'm going to leave the show. And then like the next week, it just come out like you hear saying, well, y'all know that he was an alcoholic and that's why he leaving the show and he was on drugs and he used to beat me after the show was over. Like, why they on episode 60 something? Right. She's just saying this.
So, and
hold on. I'm sorry to cut. Like, I'll do none of those things. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. So they were like on the other side of the camera like, what? You be beating her up and drinking. I knew something was in that cup.
I knew something was in the cup. There's something in the cup.
Yeah.
But also, typically when you have that type of behavior, that is like a behavioral issue that doesn't just come that late in life. Like it doesn't just onset. This would have been things that would have happened in high school. He would have had problems with. In college, he would have had problems with.
I'm probably sure some psychologists on the opposite side, like, well, I would disagree or agree. I mean, I'm sure some people. Probably
if you watch psychological TV shows,
which we know you do,
which I do, I enjoy psychology. So even
I started off checking it every other week, just like most people do. Then it got out of control. I couldn't help myself. I started checking it day after day after day. I didn't realize that I was becoming addicted until my wife said something.
What did she say?
She said, it's just a credit score, relax.
Are you checking your credit score?
Huh? Hold on.
Like with people who become murderers or serial killers, it's something that they start in childhood. They start the behavior and it gradually gets worse.
And you watch all these shows.
Yeah. My God.
Oh no, guys!
I'm just saying.
If I'm ever a victim of suicide, believe I would never commit suicide. So if she is in the vicinity of where I committed suicide, please come back to episode 67 and watch my proclamation stating that I would never commit suicide.
I'm just saying. also
overdose
took
or anything
psychology
like
in
that.
college.
Right.
So, I mean, that's just fact.
Okay.
So, I think that it's going to continue to be he said, she said, because these are civil suits. So, I don't know if the public eye will ever really know the truth. So, then you have to go on the data that you have and just logical thinking and critical thinking.
What happens to him in this upcoming season as this continues?
I mean, he's already he's losing endorsements. He lost Nike. He lost Reliant. Was it Reliant Energy? Sure. And then a subsidiary of them. And I mean, I doubt they'll probably bench him anyway because he'll be under investigation, which is really counterproductive if you think about it. I think the thought process was, this is my just opinion, is they felt like if he felt threatened, because initially the first person to accuse him, they actually tried to get him to do a settlement of $100,000 before it even went public.
Okay.
So they were like, well, if you settle for $100,000, we won't go public. And he refused.
Okay.
The settlement. So I think the thought process was, well, if we kind of shake him up a little bit and say, oh, you got these allegations against you, he would fold and do what they wanted him to do. But instead, he's like, no, because this is my name. So I'm going to fight it.
And it's not true. I mean, based on what he's saying.
Based on what he's saying. So I'm looking at both sides of it, right?
Right.
So he's saying, no, I'm going to clear my name. And then they just started adding more people. Like every other day, it was like, 4 more, 6 more, And now it's to the point where really it's counterproductive to Houston, because if the NFL is investigating him, he probably won't play this season anyway, unless it comes to an end before the season starts.
Which I doubt.
It'll probably be drawn out.
Okay.
So
well, we shall see. I'm going to keep going.
Keep going.
Because I know once you start on your side, it just you just take over the show. So this is good though. The NCAA have dumped the requirements that if you transfer, you have to sit out for a year.
That's only a one-time deal, though.
That's on Fox News. And what do you mean a one-time deal?
So the NCAA, the vote was set up to change the transfer rules to allow one transfer without having to sit out for a year.
Okay.
So if you transferred once, then you wouldn't have to sit out for a year. But if you transfer again, then you would have to sit out for a year.
Oh, yeah, and that's not what I was saying. What just came out is if you was in football, men or women, basketball, men's hockey or baseball, if you transferred, then you would have to wait a year. Mm-hmm. So they took away that.
Yeah, for a one-time only transfer, though.
So now, though, if I was to say I'm going to transfer from here, like wherever, from here to this school, I wouldn't have to wait if I'm like a 5-star player.
I've always looked at the pros and the cons of transferring.
I know. I remember you said that.
Yeah. So I've looked at it both ways. Like from the player's perspective, a lot of times if the player is recruited by a coach, right? Mm-hmm. Or a certain coach, like the defensive coordinator or, defensive line coach or offensive line coach, or he's recruited by certain coaches, and then your head coach gets fired or takes another job, and then they hire a new coach, but that new coach brings his own staff. Sometimes in some circumstances, real life, they bring players with them too to fill certain positions. And some of the players that were recruited by this other coach or staff of the other coach kind of get left out to dry. Like, they're not looked at.
Do you have an example of that? Like, where did that happen at?
I mean, so a lady that I know, her son's in college football, and the head coach just got fired. And he is bringing his own coaching staff. And there are players, there have been 20, I think she said it was like 22 players have entered the transfer portal because of the bias that's going on between the coaches, because the coach that recruited some of the guys that are freshmen this year is leaving, and the new coach coming in isn't giving them a fair shake.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We're not going to put them on blast, but that sounds horrible.
But I mean, that's just life though. I mean, coaches they're going to have kids transfer with them when they come. So you could be a starting quarterback, but let's say the quarterback that the coach was coaching at the other college transfers with him. Doesn't mean that he's coming with them for a reason, right?
Right.
So, I mean, in reality, I mean, you have that happen in high school ball.
High school too, yeah. Yeah, that happens.
I mean,
but from my perspective, sports is a business, and your job as a coach is to win. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to be this my guy who he's my supervisor at work or a friend at work or just a friend I know growing up. And we went to school together, and now his son is playing sports, but his son sucks. But I got this kid that's good, but I'm going to pull that kid out and let this kid that suck play, and now we're like losing game over game.
Sports is more politics than politics is.
Yeah. But if that's the case, when you look at Clemson, right? They went and got the kid from Georgia. And he came in, they made a cautious decision to say, we got a star quarterback right now, but we feel that, and congratulations, because he just got married too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, Lawrence.
Yeah, Lawrence. Anyway, they had a star QB.
Yeah.
And they made a decision to say, we got a good quarterback, but we feel that this kid is going to outperform our current QB. So they took away the feelings from the decision and said that, you know what, let's make a decision that's going to help to propel the team.
Right.
And help our team to the next championship. And they made that decision.
Yeah. And I think of
So congrats to Trevor Lawrence, because
he got married this past
He got married
weekend.
And he's also going to the NFL. So congrats to him.
So where are we at?
Hey, I'm always, just take your paper and put it over there to the side.
I mean, I was going to talk about some NFL, and I have more coaching drama because I know you love my coaching scandals.
Yes, I got one last thing though.
Okay.
The last thing is they have took off the ban where the coaches couldn't do the recruiting in person recruiting. They took off that due to the COVID.
I think that Clemson's opening their camp up this year.
Due to the COVID from last year.
Yeah.
So they're going to take off that ban where now the staff can actually go out and do in-person coaching. I mean, in-person recruiting.
Yep.
So
yay!
Things like getting back to the norm, which we said last year.
Yes.
We were hoping everything start getting back to the norm. All right, so let's see. What do you have?
What do you want first? You want the more coaching?
Let's hear the coaching buzz.
So I really didn't even know about this story. I was listening to another sports talk on the radio.
Okay.
And they were talking about this story.
She's going to take over the show. So I'm just going to get comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the mic away and just watch and let's ride.
No, but Andy Reid's son, Britt Reid, look at this one, has been charged in a car accident he was involved with earlier this year. So, earlier this year, this was right before, a few days before the Super Bowl, he was involved in a car accident. He had sideswiped one car and ran into the back of another car that was in the emergency lane that was pulled over. And he had told the police officer he had a couple of drinks, but his blood alcohol content, I think they said, was like 0.112 or something like that. So I don't know what it is for that state, if that's legally drunk or not. But there were 2 children in the car that he hit in the back. And the 5-year-old was in a coma for several weeks. And she still cannot walk or talk. And she's, still in the hospital with severe brain injuries.
That's headline news. That was on headlines. Yeah, I read that.
And they finally charged him.
With what?
They charged him driving while intoxicated, which is up to a 7-year sentence.
Man, decisions. We always talk about decisions.
Decisions. And a lot of people were outraged because it took them so long to charge him. Because this happened like Super Bowl, like a few days before the Super Bowl. And they're just now charging him.
Man, that's sad. And it's sad too, because like this is the life. Like not only it impacts him and his family, but then on the opposite side, like the victims too. Like it's just overall like a sad situation.
Yeah, because his dad is Andy Reid, which is the head coach for Kansas City.
Right.
So you always have to think in how it impacts the perception of the entire family, right? Mm-hmm. And the little girl's family and her, her life will never be the same.
Well,
so
prayers for both families on both sides. He's young. He made a bad choice at some point, and he'll have to deal with the consequences of it. But it's just an overall bad, because people like go out to drink, and we know that they shouldn't be like driving. But you see it, right? You see people like stumbling from the club, and like, man, I hope that person not driving. And in
today's world, there are so many outlets to where you don't have to,
right?
Like
Uber and
taxi,
Lyft and
everything. Like,
were you about to say bus?
Yeah.
Oh, no, too many buses that run at like 2:00 in the morning. What city you in? I know not out here.
I'm just saying, if it's.
Oh yeah, there's just too many options. Or call someone.
Or call someone. Phone a friend. Yeah. But don't make those decisions. Just don't make those decisions. There's too many
young people out there. If you go out and you have a drink, and if you even feel, I'm gonna say something real quick.
Okay.
I learned this when I was younger, because I used to drink too when I was young. And I would drink, and I would be like, "Oh yeah, I'm like buzzed." But I got to a point in my life where I don't drink to get intoxicated. I may have like a glass of champagne, and I'm like real smooth. I could barely feel it. I mean, I could hop in the car, I could get on the dirt bike, I could do anything under that same one drink. If I'm out, I may have 2 drinks, but as soon as I feel like a buzz starting to kick in, I will stop. For one, I don't like being in an environment where I don't have control of myself, and I can't like see everything and just think through everything and make smart decisions. And so my advice and I know people like to go out and like drink. I would say, like, if you do drink like that, drink home like that. But if you're out, like, just have like a drink. Don't drink until like you are intoxicated or drunk. At no point, I feel, just my opinion, I feel that you shouldn't drink until like you are drunk.
And maybe he felt safe at the alcohol content
the alcohol level
he was at. But I mean, you're driving 84. I don't know what time of day it was, if it was night or whatever. But it doesn't take but a split second for your eyes to come off the road or you to swerve.
it get blurred like
or
something
whatever.
blurred vision. Yeah.
And you know, an accident happens. So.
And you know what's interesting that we talked about last year was all of the single car accidents that was happening last year, like early in the morning times. And I was like, how do you get in a single car accident driving off a road into a tree? And that's sad too. So, you know, I feel bad for that, for the driver.
Family, right.
Or there's like someone in the car that's injured. Man, it's just sad. But I was thinking, like, how is it happening? Maybe a deer ran across the road and they tried to avoid the deer, or they were just intoxicated, you know, because that
Not
comes
paying
out.
attention.
It comes
on
out
the phone.
on the phone, right? On your cell phone, especially if you've been drinking and you're trying to look at your cell phone, your mind can't calculate how much time is passing. Mm-hmm. So that time where you think in your mind, you just staring down real quick and about to stare back up, that could be like 4 or 5 seconds.
Right. Moral of the story is
don't drink and drive.
Yeah.
Don't drink and drive, and stay off your cell phone
decisions.
when you're driving.
We got all off of sports, but
it's important.
It's important that, you know, these conversations are had, and it may help someone that's watching or listening.
Yeah, I actually, we're gonna move on. I actually applied for this job that I created, and I turned it in to the city, and they thought it wouldn't work because they said I didn't have the authority. But I say if I can get what was in the paperwork? What's that called? A taser. And so I said I would ride around. And every time I see someone like at a light and the light turn green and they sitting there on their phone and they don't drive off, I could tase them. Yeah, they didn't approve that.
They didn't approve that.
No, like it was the vote was like 0 to like 17. So 17 people said no.
Oh Lord.
Let's move on. Let's get back to sports talk.
Okay.
And that didn't happen either. You know, like for real, he tried to create that job.
No.
But then some people on the other side said that's a good idea. Tase him, Joe. All
right. So ESPN released College Football Power Index.
Power Index.
FPI.
All right. Let's hear it. The Power Index.
So number 1, they have Alabama. I don't know why he's clapping for Alabama when he ain't even an Alabama fan. Miami's nowhere on this top 5 list. So
I'm a Miami fan, but I go off of performance. Leadership. So I respect Alabama for their performance and their great leadership.
Number 2, they have Oklahoma.
Why you like quenching your mouth to like?
Because why would you have Oklahoma number 2?
What?
Like,
ask them. Maybe
what
someone
have they done?
they'll comment.
Okay.
Where did Oklahoma end at last year?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's been months.
Clemson number 3.
See, that's why you feel a certain way because they put Oklahoma above Clemson.
But Oklahoma ain't did nothing.
Oklahoma ain't did nothing. Let's see.
Number 4, they have Iowa State. And number 5, they have Ohio State. So once again, you see some of the same teams within the realm of what ESPN is projecting and predicting. And we talk about this all the time, how recruiting is so important, recruiting the top players, and then not only recruiting the top players, but keeping the players and building those players to be, you know, top athletes. He's looking up data, y'all.
I am, because I'm going to see. So Alabama ended number 1.
So anyhow, while he's looking up data, I just feel like Oklahoma gets to the big stage and then they never do anything when they do get there. So I understand they have a pretty decent quarterback coming back, and they think that they're going to, you know, be pretty powerful on offense this year. And they said that they wanted to key in on working on the defensive side of the ball. So we'll see. Alabama, of course, they're always ranked in the top 2 when the season starts. because
Always.
we've already discussed how many replacements that these teams have, how much talent Alabama has to replace, how much talent that Ohio State and Clemson is replacing. So
Oklahoma ended at number 6 last year. How did they jump up? I mean, there had to be something.
Because they have players coming back. That's how.
Okay. And we probably talked about this in the previous episode. So we're probably asking a redundant question.
Yeah. So
wow. So they're going from number 6 to being predicted at number 2. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we shall see. We shall see. You know.
We shall see.
We got football season and we got some months, but it's okay. And
man, what was Miami ended number 18? Miami ended number 18.
Well,
all right,
maybe
Miami.
they'll be better this year. Didn't they get like a new defensive coach? Didn't we talk about that?
There's a lot of changes happening to Miami and Derek King. He'll be back.
Yeah.
And I think if he would not have got injured, things would have been a lot different.
Yeah.
We would not have ended at number 18. But we'll see.
Well,
2021. We shall see. All right, guys. If you enjoyed the show, which you should have at the beginning, like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah.
But leave your comments down in the comment section. And the link for Let's Go. That's what I should have told them. The link for Let's Go is down in the comment section. So all you have to do.
Is it information?
Well, they should have been. Well, they should have watched the whole show to the end anyway. So now they can hear me tell them to make sure they go down and click the link in the comment section and watch that Let's Go. Let's watch that Let's Go. Let's see how we do on the billboard when the billboards come out. When Franklin come out, see if Let's Go hit the billboard. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us for Sports Talk Friday, episode number 67. We will see you guys on Monday for Wealth Building Monday. That is my show. And I got some great information. We'll see you then.
You gotta sacrifice. You wanna move like bosses move.
YMA, Young Millionaires Association. Yeah, see, that's the association.